Hello and welcome into this week's edition of an RNN Diecast review right here on Racing News Now. As always, I'm your host Garth Now, and thank you once again for joining me today. If this is your first time catching a Racing News Now video, consider going down below and hitting that subscribe button and ringing the bell for notifications so you don't miss a thing going forward from RNN. And thank you to everyone. We have finally hit that 100 subscriber mark here on RNN. The giveaway winner will be announced later today, so look for a separate video going up about that here later today. But let's go ahead and get into today's diecast review. And it is the first Camping World Truck Series race winner of this season, Mr. Johnny Sauter from the NextEra Energy Resources 250 at Daytona International Speedway. So let's take a look at the box. 18 here on the side. 2018 Truck Series schedule on the back, and the production sticker. It is one of 661 of these made. All right, so let's take a look at the truck. There's a few things I have noticed about this truck that are a little off with the decals, so we'll talk about those. Overall, it's not a bad truck, but there are some things that probably need addressed here. If you're looking at possibly getting one of these and details are a big sticking point for you and accuracy of details, there's some things that we need to notice here. So let's start out with the nose here. A little bit of rubber buildup. I mean, most Daytona raced versions, they either go one way or another. There's either no damage whatsoever and it's a very clean vehicle other than some rubber buildup, or there's a lot of damage. This is one of them that there's really no damage to speak of. It's just a little bit of rubber buildup. So we've got Allegiant and Chevy here on the hood, and here are the first things that I noticed that are a little off. The NASCAR race truck logo here on either side of the hood, not supposed to be there. It actually on the prototype, or on the real truck, it's actually here along the seam here, like it wraps around onto the hood, and then it's just above this orange line is where the bottom of it is. So I'm wondering if they did that because it was easier to just put it up here on the flat instead of wrap it around like this. I don't know what the reason for that is. It may just be them just plain not putting it in the right place. I'm gonna guess it's because of that though. It might have just been hard to wrap it around the seam here. So that's one thing to point out here. If you're looking for accuracies, that is something that's not totally right. As we look at the roof here, the Johnny Sauter 21. The other thing I've noticed here is the sponsors around the camera on the roof aren't really positioned right. They're like shifted over here to the left a little bit away from the camera. So that's another thing that's weird. And then the other thing I noticed here, they've had a problem the past few years of putting the tail light decal on the roof instead of on the back here, like right above the name rail where it's supposed to be. So I've got a couple trucks from recent, even one from this year, that is correct, and then for some reason this one they put it back on the roof. So I'm not really sure what the deal with that is. It just kind of goes back and forth whether they put it in the right place or not. And then back here on the bed, Kingman, Chevrolet Buick, Sunseeker Resort, Charlotte Harbor, a few different sponsors back here. All right, so let's look down the side of the truck. Got a few contingency sponsors here. Goodyear, Johnny Sauter up on the name rail, hard plastic window net like we usually get from the trucks. More sponsors here down the B-post. ISM Connect back here, Allegiant, Sunseeker Resort, Charlotte Harbor. Look at the rear bumper, Chevy Silverado, www.allegiant.com, and 21. And then look down here, down the passenger side, a little bit of scuffs and that you can see here in the white number, but otherwise pretty. And actually I just noticed this, the number looks a little crooked. I don't know how well you can see that in the video, but it actually looks like the 1 here is pushed up a little higher than the 2, and it's like at an angle. So yeah, there's that too. I don't know. So that is the Johnny Sauter 2017 or 2018 Next Era Energy Resources 250 at Daytona Raced Win version from back in February. Just released here a month ago or so. May have been a little longer than that at this point, and we're just now getting around to it. But yeah, that is that truck. A few decal issues, not gonna lie. So if that's something that is a real sticking point for you, it's something to definitely be wary about if you're looking at buying this truck. But if decals aren't a huge thing for you, and you like the overall look of the truck and you like Raced Win versions, there's really nothing stopping you from getting this truck. It's a good piece overall. Just little tiny annoyances there, but I mean, you're gonna get that with Lionel. I have very few diecasts from Lionel that don't have at least some sort of little tiny problem. Most of them most problems with these diecasts are small enough that they're not a big deal, and I don't really have a problem with them. There is one I did just get, though, that will be coming up here in a couple of weeks that we're going to talk about. It's got a little bit more major of an issue that we'll talk about here in a couple of weeks on a diecast review. It is a Daytona raced version as well, so it'll be coming up here shortly, because we're going to do these in chronological order. So obviously here we're starting off with the Trucks Daytona Win. Next week we'll do the Tyler Reddick Xfinity Series Daytona Win version. And then after that, we're going to do 2-in-1 video. We're going to do the Austin Dillon Daytona 500 Raced Win version, as well as the Bubba Wallace Daytona 500 Raced version that also just came out. So you'll get 2-in-1 here in a couple weeks, and then the Tyler Reddick Xfinity winner coming up next week. And then we'll just continue chronologically with Raced Win versions after that for the foreseeable future. And like I talked about, we'll probably bump these diecast reviews up to 2 or 3 per week once we get past Homestead and into the off season. So there's actually some stuff going up on here, because we'll have news and stuff going up for the first part of the off season, but it's very sporadic and just dependent on when things are announced. So to have something consistent going up, we're going to keep these. We're going to bump these up to 2 or 3 times a week, and then we'll get into the bigger stuff for the off season later in the off season. So that I think that's that. I think that's all I've got to talk about today. Like I said, 100 subscriber giveaway winner announced later today, so look for a video of that coming up here in a few hours. I'm not sure exactly on a time yet, but that it'll probably go up sometime mid-afternoon as to who the winner of that giveaway is, and of course we'll contact that winner and get their info and get how to get that sent out to them. So again, thank you to everyone who has subscribed and who has supported us since February when we started this thing. It has been a great year. We've grown a lot. It's nice to hit that 100 subscriber mark. We're not done yet. We're going to continue growing. It has it's been really fun to be able to bring all this content to everyone. So I think that'll do it for today's RNN Diecast review. If you haven't done it already, I know 100 of you have done it at this point, but if you haven't done it already, go down below, hit that subscribe button, ring the bell for notifications so you don't miss a thing going forward from RNN. Like I keep saying, we've got some really big stuff coming up in the off-season that you won't want to miss. And hit that big thumbs up button if you like the video. It is much appreciated when you do, and we really appreciate the support when you do that. So with that, this has been an RNN Diecast review. I'm Garth Allen for Racing News Now.